Hi, everybody. Let me explain something I've been up to in your accounts. I've been working hard over several weeks now buying a particular stock, really in quite large quantities. Um, that's kind of unusual. So what am I doing? This is a stock that we actually already owned in most stock accounts. I'm buying a lot more of it, and the reason is that I think the next 12 months or so look just very favorable for this stock. It currently trades at around 25 or 26, and I expect to be able to sell it for maybe around 40 or so in roughly a year's time, or within a year's time, maybe I should say. So that's roughly a 60% gain. Now, it's not that unusual to have a stock where you think there's the potential for a 60% gain in a year, but what is unusual, and the reason I'm buying so much of this stock, is that my degree of conviction about the business results over the next year or so, my degree of conviction is very high. And this has to do with the nature of the business, the competition, the how contracts work in this business, the kinds of the way customers behave, all kinds of things. Um, now, that's a very attractive gain, and I am concentrating. But what if I'm wrong? All right. So, because we're talking about a big position, we have to concern ourselves with the downside. It could be quite painful if I get it wrong. Uh, so that brings me to the second part of what I've been up to. Most of you have been contacted by me about completing certain forms, and I'm sure it's been a nuisance, and I apologize for the nuisance. But the reason for it is for me to be able to use what's called put options in your accounts. And because of the way the pricing with put options on this particular stock work right now, there's really a very favorable scenario there too. I can buy what is in effect insurance against a decline for really not that much money. And just to give you a specific example, I have a trade out right now. We'll see if I get it. I'm trying to buy a put that would assure that I can sell this stock in this client's account for no worse than 23.20 versus the current price of a bit under 26. So that's only about a 10% downside that the client is exposed to. Yet the upside is from 26 to roughly 40, as I said earlier. So that's very asymmetric, very favorable. Um, that I'll do that all day long if I can find an opportunity like that. So that's why I'm going big. All right, and the ability to have that protection makes it much easier to go big, and I wouldn't be as concentrated if I didn't have that available to me. So that's why I've bothered you about doing these forms. Now, you've probably noticed I haven't mentioned the stock, and the reason for that is that sometimes people who aren't clients watch these videos and go out and buy the stock that I mention. And I don't really object to that so much, but here I do because it's a very difficult stock to own. It's a limited opportunity. I think it's going to expire. I think they will ultimately have some issues within, say, 2 years' time. And I don't want you buying this if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're interested in this kind of thing where you use other people's stock ideas, it's a great technique. But you have to sort of know how to do it. I've been doing it for decades. Contact me and I'll explain how I think you should approach it. It isn't just, oh, Nick Victor said this stock's going up 60%, therefore I'm just going to run out and buy it. It's more complicated than that. All right, I'll talk to you soon.